lo bueno se queda, ¿no? De eso no hay duda, ¿no? Y siento que esas son las cosas que al recorrer la historia de Corona con México, siento que son las cosas que te impactan.
Corona shares a very beautiful story with Mexico. It's a history about progress, it's about ambition, it's about creativity. Everything started with a brand truth that we have in our bottle, which is La Cerveza Más Fina. And La Más Fina means to have quality, and it means to have craft. So everything we did this campaign had to have the same craft as our beer.
The film starts on Gael Garcia Bernal on the famous Pedro Fidberg chair. Gael was the perfect narrator to bring us through Mexico and Corona's history.
Con lo que yo conecto de este viaje por la historia de México y la historia de Corona, que es la resiliencia de los mexicanos. Es interesante ver cómo poco a poco se fue dando ese camino, ese recorrido. Y me encanta cuando se trata de historia, me encanta cuando se trata de la ambición.
Which we condensed in 60 seconds of stop-frame animation. In one continuous camera move, we travel through rich diorama-like rooms of key events like the post-revolution, the golden age of cinema, the puzzle crisis, and so on. Aesthetically, the film is an homage to the work of Mexican artist Pedro Fidberg, who's at the forefront of Corona's current campaign. We reference Pedro's approach through the use of bold patterns, the one-point perspective camera, the repetition of characters and other bits and pieces.
We wanted to create something that was cinematic and fresh. Had a layer of history to it, but was reduced with a kind of graphic clarity. And I think we had a bit of a roadmap of how it might come together through our sketches and designs.
Collaborating with Andy and his team is always a really special experience. They're real masters of their craft, so we got slightly indulgent with the details.
We've got animated waves, we've got a whole field going off to infinity of barley, and then we've got the sort of Met Desert with cactuses, so that's all the scenic exteriors. In the middle of those sets we've got the little interiors, so these are the windows into another world. Then there's hundreds and hundreds of extra small pieces that go in.
This is a lid for the brewery tanks, and they've had a lot of texture on them. So I'm currently sanding them all down. When we send them to be painted to look like metal, they come out nice and shiny.
It's taken us a little while to get the colour right. They're going to help with some visual effects on this with bubbles inside, and it's going to be light coming through it to match the Corona beer itself.
We had to make 350 of these bottles in total. They're all individually made by hand. We had these molds that we made so that each one could be the exact same height.
And the most challenging room was the boat scene. We only had about half a centimetre on each side and under the camera to go through it, so it was almost scratching the paint job of the boat. One of the big challenges of animating in stop frame in those small rooms was access. It was really difficult to plan removable walls that we could take off for the animators to reach the smaller elements in the sets.
Yeah, so I'm building a little rig so that we can animate the puppet from underneath the set where we can't get access. So the little dancing lady is going to have a rod which runs through them so they can dance without having to be here where the camera's here and the set one's here. So just to help them shoot quickly.
To create the various visual effects in the film, we used a lot of unexpected materials. The waves are animated using hair gel. The barley field is another good example. The animators push the broom heads, so it gives you a feeling of soft wind going through the field. The very talented Bridget Samuels composed the score that matches our handcrafted world perfectly.
There's a linear element to the score in the sense that we have kind of like flowing scale melody, which we altered from room to room throughout the film.
We just wanted to create something that had that handmade, human feel.
Entre tantas cosas que pueden significar calidad, va a perdurar por toda la vida, va a pasar el examen del tiempo.